Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we deep dive into the intricate world of tender compilation, specifically for service-based projects. If you ever felt overwhelmed by the sheer volume of work involved, you're not alone. I'm going to walk you through the entire process, sharing the exact steps I take when putting together a winning tender, a process that often spans close to 3 months. Our tender was to establish a program management office and processes at a government entity, and we were required to source project resources with Prince Project Management certification. I will be taking you through the different phases that have to be managed relatively concurrently to effectively meet your tender submission date. Phase 1, the project plan, laying the foundation. Every successful tender starts with a robust project plan. Understanding the scope of work. The very first step is meticulously studying the scope of work, or SOW. You'll usually receive this through the e-tender process. Pay close attention to details about briefing sessions. Sometimes they're compulsory, sometimes not. Regardless, I highly recommend attending either physically or via Microsoft Teams. These sessions offer invaluable insights. If you can't make it, always reach out to the buyer or contract specialist for the minutes of the briefing session. This ensures you're fully up to date. Then, competitive analysis and research. Briefing sessions are also a great opportunity to assess your competitors. You might even identify potential partners, especially if your triple BE status aligns for government tenders. Once you have the scope of work, dedicate time to thorough research. If there are any unfamiliar terms or requirements, dig in. Even if it's your first time tackling something, your research will enable you to demonstrate practical implementation. And then assembling your tender packs. For this case study, I had to create 2 primary packs, a financial pack and a technical pack. These are your core deliverables. Ultimately, you'll need both a hard copy and a soft copy for the tender evaluators to review. The final step is submitting that hard copy directly to the government entity's office. Phase 2, sourcing and building your dream team. This often is the most time-consuming and critical step for a services tender, sourcing the right resources. Identifying your team needs. If the tender specifies particular expertise, you'll need to draft job adverts or cover letters. Leverage your professional network and platforms like LinkedIn to find available consultants or contractors, especially those specialized in program management office or project management environments. Think about the organizational structure you'll need. Who's full-time for administrative tasks? Who's managing information flow? Then there's budgeting and negotiation. When advertising, create a job profile with a budgeted salary or rate. With seasoned professionals, you'll go in with a budget, but be prepared for negotiations. Their rates might be higher than yours. Contracting and early engagement. Once you've identified potential team members, provide them with a contract. While it won't be officially signed until the tender is approved, this allows them to review the terms and ensure the information is updated. As I recruit, I start scheduling team meetings. These initial meetings are crucial for gathering expertise, particularly on the methodology and processes we'll present in the tender. Many professional resources have extensive experience in corporate or government settings, so leverage their knowledge. Keep these early meetings concise. You're not yet paying for their time. Do most of your groundwork upfront so you can present quickly and allow them to provide focused comments. Focus on the process and methodology, not too much on the financials. I aim for 1 to 3 sessions to collaborate on the methodology and process, and I schedule once a week a meeting. I record them for those who can't attend due to their other commitments on other projects. This at least keeps everyone informed. Once the overall approach is finalized, our meetings shift to ways of work. This is about how we'll operate as a team to ensure smooth client billing and to provide status updates on the tender pack. I'll also highlight any bottlenecks where I need their support, especially if it involves information from their side. For consultants and contractors, it's essential to collect all the compliance documents. This ensures you're working with compliant subcontractors, as this information often needs to be shared in the tender. Similarly, employees will have their own required documentation. These operational meetings typically occur every other week, depending on availability. I always record them and share the recordings to keep the team excited and informed. Phase 3, operationalizing your program management office. Office setup and operating model. So based on the SOW, we'll propose an office setup. Does the client want the team on premises or remotely? We'll define an operating model that suits the work environment. Next, we define deliverables based on the scope of work and establish realistic deliverable timelines. This also includes outlining our invoicing process and any templates we'll use. While we don't develop these templates fully at this stage, we're thinking high level about what we'll need. Once the tender is secured, we'll workshop these with the team, as you'll have billable hours then. Phase 4, crafting the cost model. Parallel to all this, you'll be developing your cost model. This involves laying out your assumptions and factoring in any escalations over the tender's duration. You'll review setup costs, differentiate between capital expenditure and operational expenditure, and budget for consultants and employee salaries, determining who's full-time versus part-time. Remember to budget for UIF and pay-as-you-earn for your employees based on client requirements. Travel and accommodation should also be factored in, especially for kickoff, workshops, or team outings. Don't forget overheads, including insurance, software licenses, and accounting packages, separate project-specific costs from your general company operating expenses. Budget for any necessary hardware like computers or safety equipment, and compensation fund insurance. A critical aspect for consulting projects is financing the first 3 months. Often you're only paid in the second month due to billing cycles. If you don't have available funds, you'll need to explore options like requesting a provision from the client, seeking bank financing, or leveraging other ongoing projects. Create various scenarios to forecast cash flow and profits. Factors like unknown client requirements or resource availability can influence these. Sometimes you'll need to go back to your resources and explain any challenges. Many tenders have explicit financial caps you must adhere to. Don't forget to add a substantial contingency for unknowns. Finally, you'll need a summary of costs and fees per project phase. This high-level summary is crucial for the financial pack, and you won't provide excessive detail here. Phase 5. The technical pack. The technical pack is where you demonstrate your ability to deliver. Essential forms and compliance documents. This pack includes procurement forms that must be completed by hand and signed by the company directors. You'll also need various compliance documents such as tax certificates, central supplier database information, and letters of good standing. Ensure these are in order right from the start. The technical pack typically includes introduction, which demonstrates a deep understanding of the terms of reference and the client's needs. Rephrase their requirements to show you truly grasp what they're looking for. This section is also a valuable resource for your internal team. Methodology and approach. Propose your chosen methodologies. For a PMO, this could include discussions around waterfall versus agile, PMBOK versus Prince 2, PMO processes, approval processes, program and project roles, stakeholder management, business evaluation criteria, change management, PMO scorecards, visual management, team monitoring, and even health and safety for your team. Establishing SLAs and proposing tools. Outline service level agreements and propose relevant project management systems or tools. If the SOW hints at a specific system, leverage those and suggest improvements. Skills development. Explain how your external PMO team will train the client's internal project managers. Capacity to deliver. Detail your team's capacity to deliver by the proposed dates, including resource development strategies, roles, responsibilities, succession planning, and a detailed to-be design for repositioning the existing PMO. Timeframes and project plan. Include your overall project plan, activities but deliverable, and high-level budget details for resources and other services. Remember, keep the detailed costing in the financial pack to avoid influencing evaluators. They need to assess your technical capability first, independently of price. Company profile and team resumes. Provide a company profile and present your team's resumes. I standardize all CVs into a consistent template for quality and professional appearance, and then scan all relevant qualifications. Proof of capability. This is where I showcase the team's past successes and achievements. I would need to ask them for quick highlights from their CVs or any accolades they've received. So back to phase 4, the cost model. My cost model lives in an Excel sheet with different tabs for managing information. It all consolidates into a summary page where I can see salaries, accommodation, and all expenses including VAT. This allows me to easily see breakdowns like salaries versus travel and accommodation, providing crucial perspective. I detail resource rates per hour and budgeted accommodation. I also track resource UIF and their locations. Overheads include insurance, Microsoft licenses, and accounting software. I also separate project-specific costs from my general company operating expenses. This also covers any hardware or safety equipment purchases. Having a pre-modeled cost sheet saves immense time. You can quickly input information and know that changes in one sheet automatically updates others. Phase 7. Compiling and submitting your tender pack. If anything is unclear during the compilation, don't hesitate to email or call the person in charge for clarification. The compilation itself is exciting. This is when everything comes together. The financial bid pack, the original technical bid pack, carefully sealed in separate envelopes. You will be hand completing and signing procurement documents, ensuring every section is perfectly aligned. There is a real sense of pride when you print that hard copy. Seeing all your hard work meticulously compiled with standardized CVs and all qualifications in place is incredibly satisfying. Everything gets packed into an envelope and then finally it's delivered. So to summarize, compiling a tender pack for a service environment is no easy feat. It demands immense detail and attention. Even if you're a specialist, aligning with the client's specific needs is paramount. Don't push your standard processes if they don't fit. Be adaptable and integrate seamlessly with their work culture, acting as an extension of their team, not an aloof consultant. This process is intense and requires significant time. If you're juggling other operational activities or clients, you won't be able to dedicate the quality time needed. My advice, start with one tender and build a robust template. This will streamline future submissions. The day you finally deliver that document is truly exciting. You know the quality is there and you're proud of it. This detailed work also makes it easy to create a polished PowerPoint presentation if you're invited to present your solution. It's a chance to refine your solution based on direct feedback from product owners and adjust your internal plan accordingly, ideally staying within your initial cost estimations. The tendering process is a skill you'll hone with each submission. You won't win every tender, whether due to a more experienced competitor or budget cancellations. A crucial warning, especially with government tenders: once your submission is formally acknowledged and published online, scammers will target you. They'll use publicly available information to call you, pretending to be from the procurement department, offering to help your submission for a fee. I've experienced this personally and immediately reported it to the client. So never fall for these scams. Do your best, give your best, and never attempt to win a contract by bribing anyone. It's not worth it, and the entity will not protect you if you fall victim to such a scam. Best wishes on your tendering journey. You've got this.